Shalom, shalom. First things first, I'm going to give our honor and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, McCarthy Dash. We say, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Ba'ashem, McCarthy Dash. And give double honors to our apostle elders, which are the apostle elders, a great millstone, which feed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Ba'ashem Yahushai. When the time of the end, 2022, which is the year of the turn up of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai turning up. And Lord willing to be so, man. Oh man, Jake, we worn out. I know it. So these are the times that we're anticipating. It is really the greatest time to be alive, man. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Hey, Yabashim Rakatham, Bashim McCark would die. I'm just waiting for, those to come in, but we'll get started here shortly. I'm just setting up. Make sure that you let me know audio's okay. I know we had some audio issues, so I'm still working on the setup here, just to make sure everything works proper. Okay, the water. See, that's why I asked. Some told me to ask. Hold on. Check. Mic check. Is that a little better? Hold on. All right, audio sound good now? Or is it sounding muffled? Baba Kasha. Okay, it's good. All right, Khan. Okay, let's jump right into it. As you see the title of the video, it says, if the salt has lost its savor. All right, if the salt has lost its savor, that's what you see taking place right now with a lot of Israelites. Muffled. Okay, hold on. Man, what's going on? 1 second. Okay, good. All right, here we go. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. How's it sound now? Okay, Khan. Let me work on that real quick. Bear with me, Baba Kashab. Bear with me. Yeah.
Mic check. Mic check. There we go. That's it. All right, let's see if that sounds better. The water for those, helping me out. We all got to help sometimes, man. Look. There we go. All right, let's jump into it. As you see the title of the video, hey, the water to those that helped out with that. What does it say? It take a village. But as you see the title of the video, it says, if the salt has lost its savor. So that's what you see taking place right now in a lot of Israel, all right? Because the understanding is what gives us what we are. That's what separated us from these other nations. That's what made us holy people. All right. Once we started losing ourselves and losing our how's it say, the strength of our faith and the strength of our belief, we became like the nations. That's why it says after the first and second admiration, he is a heathen man. All right. So that's what's taking place right now. You're seeing the resurgence, the rising of saltless Israelites. Damn, that should have been the title of this video. Saltless Israelites, man. Because and it's up to the Lord, because it says, how long, O Lord, till the cities be wasted? So there's a spirit out here that's blinding Jake, man. All right. So these unsalted Israelites that are coming out the woodwork, even in the Christian church. I was watching Apostle Elder Tahar's video earlier with a Christian, and they don't got it, man. They don't have the full understanding. That's to show us the fear, man. The Lord ain't doing it for them because they're already destroyed. He hasn't shown them Yahweh Shai. He hasn't gave them to Yahweh Shai. So they're already destroyed. So what is the point of them? Their point is to show us, those that are on the inside that are looking out, to see, look, man, that's a scary thing. To not have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you will be out here, man, lost. Just like we was lost. When we were in the church, we didn't know what was going on. Especially myself. When I heard the scriptures, when I heard the truth, I couldn't believe it, man. I looked in my Bible, not saying I couldn't believe. I said it was a surprising I couldn't believe it. I looked in my Bible all night. I remember that. I remember that night. I remember that night. I kept looking on the thing. I was just looking, and I was just like, damn, man. I was like, this is true. Deuteronomy 28:68. When I read that, I said, I said, oh my goodness. Okay, but back to the point is that these Israelites are saltless. They've lost what makes them Israelites. Just like all of us. That's why I call this the valley of dry bones. The bones is representation of the making of Israel. Just like a bone is known as a foundational thing. It foundations your body. It builds you up. That's what holds in your organs. That's what holds your muscles on. The bone structure. So when it says, it was a perfect analogy of using the bone structures being broken because we were dismantled as a people. There was no structure to us. There was no understanding. There was no soundness. So that's why the Lord called it the valley of dry bones. They said the bones were broken. They were laying out in the valley. That means they weren't a skeleton. They were just bones, man. So that's what the Lord is saying about us in that state. And that's what a lot of Israelites are going back to. That's the scary part. The Lord is putting on the sleep again. He woke Israel up, and then now you got guys that are sort of falling back asleep. Because what are they doing? They're rehearsing and recycling the slave doctrine that was given to them, and they're packaging it up in a brand new package and sending it out to Israel. Now you don't got to do the law or the laws. How you going to be saved? That's putting a yoke on the people. Because if you telling everybody to do the law, you better do it 100%. That's what they were doing. Just like the apostle elders broke down. That's what the Sadducees and Pharisees were doing. They were making laws out of laws. They were going deeper into it and putting yokes on the people. So that's what you see happening right now. You got them that are trying to be law, and they break every day, man. They breaking law every day. The clothes we wear, the socks you put on your feet. If you laying in the bed next to your woman and she's on a menstrual, you breaking the law. So where is that at? They won't do that though. They'll still lay in the bed with they woman. They won't go get up, man. The water. Let's jump right into it. Let me share the screen, and then we're gonna get into these precepts. I just wanted to set the tone of the lesson and to show you these are unsalted Israelites, man. All right. So keep the salt. We've been given the salt, and I learned a few things too going into this lesson that's beautiful. That salt used to be, once salt lost its savor, that the salt would be thrown in the streets, okay? Because the salt became dead salt. The salt that you throw in the streets, it actually would contaminate. It would contaminate the ground. Hold on. Salak here. All right, Salak. Let's do that. So the salt, once that salt lost its savor, became toxic. All right. The few articles and things that I looked into, that the salt would actually become hurtful to ground. So they wouldn't want you to throw it in their field. So what would they do? They would throw it in the streets of Jerusalem. They would literally throw it in the streets to cause to make more like gravel. You know how you use gravel and rocks? That's what they would turn the unsalted stones to. They would throw them as common as rocks. So salt is a stone, but it's a stone that has ingredients added to it, which makes it salty. A stone is a regular stone without salt. so it's not good for food. You can't put it on food because you're just going to be eating a hard thing that's not doing anything for you. So that's the scary thing. So men would be, that's why the analogy say you shall be trodden underfoot. Literally, salt that lost its savor. I read two things, that salt that lost its savor would be thrown in the streets and used as rock salt for the actual ground, or they would throw it on the side of the temple so it could give traction for the priests. So there's two versions of where it's would be trodden underfoot. All right, so let's man, my internet's going crazy, but let me see if it don't pop up, then we'll just keep going here. I'll read it out of here. Give me 1 second. Let me read this to you because I found it really interesting to show that they would actually throw it on the ground, man. Okay, here we go. Let me read it. And it says this is out of the Bible Hub. This is the pulpit commentary, the pulpit commentary. All right, and it says, let's keep going down. All right, here we go. And it says, not man, I gotta go up. It says for the manner in which it is gathered, much earth and other impurities are necessarily collected with it. Not a little, man. Let me go up. All right. It says, it is a well-known fact that the salt of this country, i.e., Palestine, when in contact with the ground or exposed to rain and sun, does come in spied and useless. See, so once the elements of the world gets on that salt, guess what? It becomes unsalted. So that's the same thing with the analogy of what the sower and the seed. It says when the thorns come up and it choketh the seed out. That's the ways of the cares of this world. So we can say now that the salt, let me read it one more time and then I'll explain it. It says, it is a well-known fact that the salt of this country, i.e., Palestine, when in contact with the ground or exposed to rain and sun, does become inspited and useless. See, from the manner in which it is gathered, much earth and other impurities are necessarily collected with it. Not a little of it is so impure that it cannot be used at all. So it collects it with the just like the nations. That be symbolic of us being among the nations, collecting their nutrients. Okay, taking those nutrients and those attributes onto us, but we're still salt. That's like the Israelite foreigners. They collected nutrients from the other nations, but they're still salt. They're still used for salt. They're not totally impure. That's why the it's such a cold analogy, man. Read it again. Much earth and other impurities are necessarily collected with it. Not a little, but it is so impure that it cannot be used at all. And such salt soon inflores, and such salt soon inflores and turns into dust. That means it fades away, breaks down. Not, it says not to fruitful soil, however. It is not only good for nothing itself, but it actually destroys all fertile soil whenever it is thrown. See that you see how cold that is? So the unsalted the unsalted that's what you say that 5 times fast. The unsalted salt, all right, the unsalted salt, it becomes harmful. It becomes a problem. It chokes nutrition. So men would not want that unsalted salt. Just like now, these guys that don't have this truth and don't have the full understanding, they're hurting the truth. They're not benefiting the truth. They're coming on the they're imputing the nutrients from getting to the people, man. That's our job, man. We're just fellers, man. We're just sowers. We're husbands, man. We're just throwing the seed out here into the world, and the Lord give the growth, man. But then you got things that are impeding it: stones, thorns, thistles. These are the things that hurt the growth of the seed that is thrown out here, man. So let's read it again with understanding. It says, for the manner in which they gathered, much earth and other impurities are necessarily collected with it, not a little of it so impure that it cannot be used at all. And such salt soon inflores and turns to dust, not to fruitful soil. However, it is not only good for nothing itself. That means these guys are not just bad for themselves. They hurt things. They pollute things that it touches. That's heavy, man. And it says, but it actually destroys all fertile or all fertility whenever it is thrown. No man will allow it to be thrown on his field. And the only place is for it is in the street. See, the only place for it is in the street, and there it is cast and to be trodden under the foot of men. It should be observed that the salt used in Palestine is not manufactured by boiling clean salt water, nor quarried from mines, but is obtained from marshes along the seashore, as Cyprus, from it says, and from salt lakes in the interior, which are dried up in the summer. As it says, and as the one in the desert north of Pamiala, the Great Lakes. So it is going into the specific, but that's showing you right there that salt, it becomes unsalted salt that breaks, that loses its savor. It becomes a hurt. It does not benefit itself, and it hurts the soil that it touches, man. That's these guys that come with this doctrine and come with the wayward ways, man. They're hurt. That's why the Lord set up apostles and elders to do the things that they do, man. Now it should make sense to you, because men shouldn't throw their salt. That's why it says, mark them that cause division, man. And contrary to the scriptures, you mark them and you stay away from them. That's what it says. So that's showing you the type of mentality you should have with unsalted Israelites, man. It's not a light thing. That analogy, the Lord didn't make that analogy for no reason, man. So let's go ahead and get it. This is Matthew 5 and verse 13. And then also, salt is also known as a preservative. All right. Salt also preserves and it flavors, because babies would be wrapped in salt. Okay. Babies would be swaddled in salt when they were children. And I'm going to prove it to you. This is Ezekiel 16. Let's go into it. This is Ezekiel 16, one of my favorite verses, one of my top favorite verses. Read the whole chapter, Baba Kashar. You get a chance, read it tonight. This is my favorite script right here, man, because it shows you when the Lord came and snatched us up. This scripture shows you the love that the Lord had for us, man. All right. So let's read it. This is Ezekiel 16 and verse 4. It says, and as for thy nativity in the day that thou was born, okay, what's born? Babies are born, right? Thy navel was not cut. That's the umbilical cord. Okay. That's the umbilical cord. Neither was thou washed in water to supple thee. Thou was not salted at all, nor swaddled at all. See that? So they would swaddle babies in salt. So we know, we would have to extrapolate that Yahweh Shai as a baby was, because they said he was swaddled. When they came into the manger, he was swaddled. So thou was not salted at all or swaddled at all. Why would they do that? I read also they would do that to babies to toughen the skin up. So when the baby came out, the baby's skin there was no modern medicine in the ancient world. So they did that to toughen the baby's skin up. The baby's fresh into the world, the elements, the cold, the heat. So they would put salt on the baby. They would wash it with water and salt. And then they would put the swaddle on the baby to toughen the skin up. It would dry out the skin, just like you preserve meat. If you put meat in salt and put it in the earth, it preserves it. That's why you get salted meats. That's how they used to preserve it from bacteria. So what they would do to the baby, they would swaddle the baby in the salt, and then they would put the salt in the swaddle together, and the baby's skin would be protected from bacteria, and it would harden it. It would take the moisture out of the baby's skin because it was just in water for 9 months, 8 or 9 months, man. So you see how these scriptures are cold-blooded, man? If you really look into it, you get the fullness, you can see a picture of it. Now you know why Yahushua was swaddled in the manger, man. He was salted, man. So babies were salted, but the Lord is making the comparison through Ezekiel that we was not salted. That means we didn't have that protecting skin. We didn't have no protecting. We didn't have no away from bacteria. We were out there, man. See, this is what now you understand. Now to read the now we're gonna read verse 5, and you're gonna have the understanding through that. It says, "None I pity thee." That's why it says, "No man bemoaned us." That's where it's tying in the salt, the swaddled, and it's analogy. But then the next verse is telling you why, what made us not swaddled, what made us not salted. It says, "None I pity thee to do any of these unto thee, to have compassion upon thee, but thou was cast out into the open field to the looting of thy persons, to the loathing of thy persons in the day that thou was born." So we became a nation in Egypt, and we became a slave nation. All right. And then the Lord freed us, just like now we became a nation in modern day Egypt. It's not a coincidence. When did Israel really come to being what it is now? We were birthed in bondage. We were birthed starting with Abba Bivens in the 70s. So 1970s till now, we became a nation. And how do we become a nation? It's not saying that you're Negro and we were enslaved. No, when the Lord cast us off, we didn't become a nation. So when we got ourselves back, which is the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, that's what separated us from these nations. That's how we became Israelites, by the way of the law, statutes, and commandments. But now we're not justified by those laws, statutes, and commandments as before. Those are our adornment. Those are our clothes, our covering, our salt. All right. The open field to loathe of thy persons in the day that thou was born. See, it says, "And when I passed by thee, I saw thee polluted in thy own blood." And that's going into our sins. That's going into the things that we're doing against Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay, that's what the Lord looks at these nations as: bloody, nasty people, because they're in their sins. And it says, "And when I passed by thee, I saw thee polluted in thy own blood. And I said unto thee, when thou was in thy blood, live." So he's saying that I gave you law, statutes, and commandments. That's life. Moses said, "Today I set before you life and death," man. So the Lord gave us life through the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And it says what? Blood, live. Yea, I said unto thee, when thou was in thy blood, live. He said it twice. That's not a coincidence. He's putting it out there for you to know that, look, I said it twice. You in your blood, you in your nastiness, and I took you out of it and gave you the law and cleaned you up, man. So now let's jump into Matthew. Now we got the understanding of salt. Why salt was such an important thing in the ancient world. In this analogy right here hits it right on the head, man. This is Matthew 5 and verse 13. It says, "Ye," who's ye? Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. "Ye are the salt of the earth." So what is salt now? Now we know what salt does. Salt is a preservative. Salt is a preservative. It's also a cleanser. It's also to add flavor. We always use the analogy of saying, that we're the flavorless flavor people, but it's deeper than that. Preserving, because what does salt do? It also preserves and keeps away bacteria. What's the bacteria? Sin, man. That's the bacteria, sin, and wickedness, man. So we are the salt of the earth. We're to. That's why the Lord is going this day. Hold on, I got a few precepts. What's that? All right. So this is why the earth is going to be. Here it is. I got it. There's another precept. The water, the water. Because if the earth is lost as salt, guess what? The Lord would judge it, man. If it wasn't for the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Lord would judge this place. All right? Let's prove that real quick. And then I'm going to come right back to this. Man, you got precepts lined up back to back. I ain't even hit my list yet. That's beautiful, man. This show you the Lord moves you where he wants you to go. This is Malachi 4 and verse 6. I always listened to the scripture, and it was always a very fearful scripture. All right, now we can see the understanding. It says, and shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. So the Lord is showing you here through Malachi that if Elijah does not come, because we know he came in these days as the man by the name of Abba Bivens to those that can receive it. All right, he came and he turned the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the children to the fathers, by way of the apostles and elders. And look at it now. That has happened. Now that's further proof that Abba Bivens is Elijah, because he's the cornerstone. He's the building blocks of this truth in Babylon. And now look at it today with the internet. We got camps in France. Think of that man's work, which is symbolic of a mustard seed. That man's work spread out all over the planet Earth now. So that's further proof that that man had to be a special man, because his words and the things that he pushed started a snowball effect, man. And now we've seen the fruits of it. That's why you got camps, and you got to say it. Abba Bivens did not start it. If he did not start what he started and did what he did through the spirit of Payah Bashim Yashai, I wouldn't be in camp. I got the truth from the internet. I heard it from the internet. I saw say call Haloim Yabashim Yashai for keeping the apostles out there. And when no man was listening, man. That's what you see. No man was listening to this truth, and the man kept going. Now look at it. All these people that are talking, look at all the people that are listening to this truth. And the truth is growing day by day, man. So this is the proof that he had to be the man. He had to be Elijah. All right. So that's showing you the Lord said he'll smite the earth with a curse, right? So now let's jump right here to this precept, where it says, okay, Khan, this is Isaiah 2 and verse 3. Now we're gonna show you how we're gonna be the salt of the earth. Okay, because the earth will be salted by us. And salt is a different spice. You can't compare salt to cayenne. Those are two different spices, man. So the Lord is showing you that we're the salt. We're the main important. And you look at the benefits of salt, you'll see the benefits of Israel in the world sense. Not just for our nation. The world is gonna benefit from our salt in a time. This is Isaiah 2 and verse 3. And it says, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of Yahweh, power of Jacob. And he will teach us of his ways, the salt. See? And we will walk in his paths, for out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. See? And the main belief and the main salt we have now is Yahushua. Is Yahushua. So the new covenant comes and we have the law in our inward parts, then we can glorify in the law, because we will know the law and do the law perfectly. But till then, the law is our schoolmaster to lead us to Yahushua, just like the scriptures say, man. Okay? The law is a schoolmaster to Yahushua, because if you don't have Yahushua, guess what? The law ain't gonna save you, man. The law would condemn you. The law would judge you, because the law, it says what it says. And the Most High is not a man, he shall lie. That's why the law was written in stone, man. All right? It says, and he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and it says, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore, because we're going to put an end to that. That's what we're coming. That's why the nations are going to be happy that we're ruling, because we're not Esau. We don't profit off war, man. We're not going to profit off death. We're not going to rule by the sword. We're going to rule by the spirit, man. That's why Esau's blessing was the sword and our blessing was the spirit, man. We're going to rule these nations not with an ironclad fist. We're going to rule with ironclad spirit, man. That's how we're going to rule the world. We're going to rule it in an ironclad spirit. That means there's no breaking of the laws, man. And we're going to tell them, and they're going to be able to know that we were the ones that fell by the law, so we can judge them. They can't say we don't know. You know, somebody be like, you never even, you don't know, you don't even understand what it's like to be a heathen. No, we went under slavery. Your ancestors whipped our backs, man. You sold us. We know exactly what it is, man. All right. It says, O house of Jacob, come ye and let us walk in the light of the Lord. That's his truth. That's getting that salt. That's why when the Lord said we rose up again in the valley of dry bones, we received what? Life and breathed into us, which is the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. So that's what's coming now, man. It's a perfect analogy. So let's go ahead and pull these precepts and we'll close on out. I think the point is hit. This is the book of Job 6 and verse 6. And it says, can that which is unsavory be eaten without salt? Or is there any taste in the white of an egg? See, can that which is unsavory be eaten without salt? So you seeing everything that's happened right now in this world, man. It'll turn you unsavory. It'll take the salt out of you. It'll break you down, man. Look at these guys that I seen a video with Meek Mills today. They had him dancing around in the tennis court, man. He's supposed to be a gangster rapper out of New York. This dude is dancing around like a damn unicorn, man. This it'll destroy you, man. Hey, Khan, the water, bro. This is the book. This is Occupied Till I Come. Shalom. This is Second Ezra 8 and verse 2. It says, and I will tell thee a similitude, Ezra, as when thou askest, it says, and when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee that it giveth much. What is that? Mold? Wherefore earthen vessels are made, but little dust that gold cometh. Damn. Or even so is the course of this present world. That's right. There's the truth is it's a delicacy. The truth is a delicacy. Okay. That's what it's saying. That why does Esau call certain things delicacies? Because it's not abundant. All right. Gold is not abundant. Gold, there's a limited amount of gold to a point. That's mined. You have to mine it and get more of it. All right. So the same thing with this truth is valuable, man. It's priceless. It's not readily available, man. All right. But the ways of this world, that's why it says mud and things in the earth it's a lot of. But that's what the Lord is saying us. That's why the precepts say, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, man. He's going to turn us into a rare metal. We're not rare right now. We're looked down on. We're the offscar. We're the pieces of shit in the world. But guess what? We're going to be turned into rare metals, not actual gold, but we're going to be turned in the similitude of gold. We're going to be too similar to gold. We're going to be literally, because they're not going to be, Israelites will turn into priceless artifacts, man. For Yahweh Shem Yahshai's will, man. Thus saith the Lord. Read it again. This is Job 6 and verse 6. And it says, can that which is unsavory be eaten without salt? Or is there any taste in the white of an egg? All right. Now let's jump to Luke. This is the book of Luke 14 and verse 34. This is Luke 14 and verse 34. And it says, salt is good, but if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be seasoned? It's not seasoning anymore. It's no good. That's why when Esau makes these guys sell out, he disrespects them after that. He'll do all that grooming and making them, oh, this is, but once they sell out, they're done. They don't respect those guys. They don't respect that. Esau respects opposition, man. He respects power. He's a carnal man. And if you give up your power to him, you're not respected anymore. You're not respected. You're now lower level. All right. So that's what that's what the salt is. When you give up, especially you sell out and give up your spirit, not your spirit, but you give up a symbolic of your spirit and say you're selling your soul, you lost your savor, man. And the same thing with guys that deny Yahweh Shai, you lost your savor. Those are the things that nowadays is going to lead us to salvation, which is the benefit for us, is the belief in Yahweh Shai. That's it. not beliefs in ourselves or the ways of the world. Those things don't profit, man. They don't profit at all. That's what the Lord is saying. You rejecting your husband, you rejecting your king, man. That's why the Lord said, "Him that would not have me rule over them, bring him hither and slay before me." That's why you had royal lines, man. Yahushua is the first line of royalty, man. That's why he's the first spirit that was created ever, man. He is the firstborn. He is the heir of creation, man. And you got guys that are denying the heir, the son. He is the direct, just like on the earth. You can't slide in there because you want to be a king. It don't work like that. It works by genealogy. It works by seed. It works by the promise, man. Just like a birthright. That's what a birthright was, a small way of saying you inherited a rulership. Because if your father gave you land and cattle, guess what? Now you're a ruler of that land and cattle. So the Lord is giving Yahushua the rulership of the creation, man. He's inherited it. But then you got guys that are saying he's not important, or you to do this, you do that. Come on, man. They've been westernized. They haven't realized what it means to, man, some people would look what David did to Saul. He respected Saul so much that he felt bad for touching his fringe, man. Men would go lay down their lives for their king, because that was what you call patriotism in the ancient world, man. Now you got guys talking about the king like it's easy, but that's the westernized world, man. That's westernized mentality. So let's keep going. And it says, let's pull up another precept. Oh, man, I'm going to get this Sirach. Let's get this Hebrews. This is Hebrews 10 and verse 29. This is Hebrews 10 and verse 29. This is Hebrews 10 and verse 29. And it says, of how much sore punishment suppose ye shall he be, though worthy, who have trodden under the foot the son of Yahweh. See? That's what these guys are doing, man. It says, how much sore punishment suppose ye shall he be, though through worthy, who have trodden under the foot the son of Yahweh, and have counted the blood of the covenant wherewith he was sanctified an unholy thing, and have done despite unto the spirit of grace. You close the book. You close the book, man. Man, that's what they doing, man. So if you have not Yahushua, you've lost the salt, man. And the other things that go with losing the salt, all right? But the main thing is the belief on Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man, because that's what's gonna save us. All right, not the law, not trying to nitpick, not trying to be a superstar in Babylon or do this. Those things are secondary, man. Secondary to getting Yahushua, and guess what? Yahushua is gonna get you. Jake don't see a benefit in this truth. That's why they don't go for it the way they should. They don't see the benefit. They don't really believe that they're going to be given a kingdom. They think they're going to be able to do this and then just it's a fad. Now it's going to fade away. No, there's an end coming to Babylon. We're not going to be here. We're not meant to be here. That's why the Lord said it. Him that was judgment was not to drink of the cup, have assuredly drunken. So we weren't even supposed to be in this position. This was the Lord did this as a point. But if it wasn't for the point, he wouldn't have put us in slavery. This wasn't our meant to be, and it's definitely not our says all be all, man. This is a stepping stone. This is a chapter in a book for us. This is a footnote on our road. We're going up, and Esau's going down, man. We clocking out, and he's clocking in, just like a day at work, man. We worked a long shift in slavery, man, and being away from our power. Now we're clocking out of work, and we're retiring from wickedness. Damn. We are retiring from wickedness. We're done with it, man. We're done with it. So that's the mentality we should have right now, is wait on Yahushua, and he's going to save us. He's going to make us pure, man. He's going to bring us new bodies, new change of clothes. We're going to see better. We're going to see perfect. We're going to smell perfect. We're going to taste perfect. We're going to taste food how it's supposed to be tasted. We're going to pop better. You know, those are all going to be luxuries of being gods, man. And Jake don't want that. They don't believe they're gonna get that. That's the thing about it. That's why the apostle said it best. That's why these guys that leave the truth, guess what? They stay in Babylon because they don't believe this place is gonna be burnt, man. They don't believe it. They did not believe. They showed that they went from us because they were never of us, man. They were never of us. So I think I'm gonna leave it there. I think the point has been hit. You know, the unsaltedness of these guys, man. You know, and just always keep in mentality, man. Hey, and it's true. Humble is the way to be, man. Always want to learn. Always want to watch. Always want to learn of that. There's that, man. Look, this is a precept book. This is a precept book, man. You can't go through all these precept links and links. Look at all. Look, you want to talk about? Yeah, you can get at the script, man. Look, I'll show y'all this. This is a precept book. Look at all them precepts. Those aren't words. Those are precepts. Let me try to show you. This is how this Bible links up, man. These are precepts. I get it close. You know, so you're never done, man. We got enough work until the Lord comes here, man. So hey, we just got to keep, occupied till He comes, man. So Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm gonna leave it there. I said, this spirit was on my lesson, or this lesson was on my spirit, just to put it out and to show those that look, man. Hey, always keep that salt, and the salt is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and the belief in Yahushua, man. All right, that's what's gonna get us up out of here. The law is gonna be perfect. It's gonna be the Lord. The Lord's coming to put it in us. Why you putting the cart before the horse, man? That's a part of His glory too. Is to perfect us. You know, he'll say He perfected us because He's bringing judgment, man. You know, rightfully so, because He's the one that formed us, man. So it's only right that He gives us the life that is we're gonna live forever, man. We're not gonna die. Those bodies are gonna be our permanent homes, man. I'm ready for it, man. We've learned our lesson. We've learned sin. We've learned what it's not. It's not the thing to do. It's not the way to go. It's not how we should live. This is not. We weren't made for this, man. All right. So this was a lesson for us to learn from, and the Lord is coming to now take us out of the lesson and bring us to the next chapter, man. It's exciting times, man. So Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm gonna leave it there. With that, I'm gonna say all praise and call Halon Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, and Kodash. And I say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Ba'Shem, and Kodash. Till the next time, I say Shalom. Keep faith, keep fighting, stay on that road, man. Shalom.